Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to LCBI Esports. It's March 12th, 2025. My name is Andy Prokopchuk. I'm here with Caleb Turden and Mark Knutson, and we are going to be playing Game 5 of 8 tonight. Both teams are 3-1. We are the LCBI Bisons. We would see Jesus are going to be playing the Oregon Charter Academy. We're ranked 13th in North America Mountain Region, and they are ranked 12th. A little bit about Overwatch. Overwatch 2 is a standard play. It is played 5 versus 5 on randomly selected maps from one of 6 standard games. Control, Escort, Flashpoint, Hybrid, Push, and Clash. Standard play is available in both quick play and competitive play menus for roll queue and open queue. So tonight we're going to be having only 5 different game modes: control, hybrid, flashpoint, and push, and then escort. So a little bit about the positions in Overwatch. There are three primary roles and responsibilities. Starting off is the tank heroes. Tank heroes soak up damage and shatter fortified positions like closely grouped enemies and narrow choke points. If you're a tank, you lead the charge. Next, we have damage, or DPS. Damage heroes seek out, engage, and obliterate the enemy with wide-ranging tools, ability, and playstyles. Fearsome, but fragile. These heroes require backup to survive. And finally, we have support heroes. Support heroes empower their allies by healing, shielding, boosting damage, and disabling foes. As a support, you're the backbone of your team. So how the team makeup is we have 1 tank, 2 damage, and 2 support. So let's go ahead and meet tonight's players. So your starting lineup for the LCBI Bisons, we're going to start with the damaged players. So the damaged players starting off is Kobe Spear. Kobe's in grade 12. His gamer tag is Dream in Bacon. Next we have Jeremy Flath. All right, Jeremy Flath. He's also in grade 12. His gamer tag is Sky King. So those are 2 damage players. They're the glass cannons. They're going in. They're doing damage. They're trying to get in cover, trying to get the jump on people. Next, we have the support players. Remember, the support provide healing and all that kind of stuff. So we got Josh Denholm, grade 12, gamer tag Banana Josh. And then we have Christopher Summick, grade 10, C-Play Games. And then finally, we have Lana the Tank. Lana Knutson, grade 12, gamertag Golden Shadow. So we're going into our first game mode. Our first game mode is Control. Control is a game mode which 2 teams fight over a capture point in a best-of-3 format. While a team has control over a capture point, that team will gain capture percentage until they reach 100%. And the team that reaches 100% first wins the round. Overtime will be triggered if one team has reached 99%, and the point is currently being contested. This game mode does not have a time limit, unlike others. Okay, so we are about to assemble our heroes. We're about to go into the pregame. Let's go to our other 2 announcers, Mark Knutson and Caleb Turden. Say hi, you guys.
Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so let's go with Mark. Mark, what are you kind of looking forward here? Mark, you're one of the head coaches here. What are you looking for with regards to your team?
Yeah, so they've got some basic strategies with these maps that we want to see them exert. They've had a lot of really good success the last few weeks with being really aggressive, getting the other team's face, and really taking the game to them. That's what we're looking to see here is see that aggression right off the top and see how they can control the pace of play.
Absolutely, yeah. No, I mean, we saw this even like last season in the fall season, where it was like usually if the team captured the point first, they usually had the advantage for the rest of the match and usually had the lead. It was very hard to lose that. But I can see here that the Bisons right now are currently on the back foot trying to break into the capture point, and Oregon is doing a pretty good job of keeping them in this little choke point.
Yeah, they definitely put themselves in a bad position there trying to come through that hallway, and Oregon made them pay for it for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to, especially on maps like this where, you don't want to have all of your team in a very narrow hallway. That can't be good for the players. Let's hear it, Caleb Turden. Caleb, what would you do in this situation?
I probably would have gone through that main entryway there. That's what most teams do, but it's honestly the better way to go, and it just works out better. You are in the open, but it's just a better way to start.
Yeah, it's weird because you have to sacrifice the high ground, and I think that's what the Bison are doing. Obviously, this is actually doing pretty good. It looks like Oregon's team kind of shattered, and didn't maybe coordinate the best, and the Bisons were able to coordinate. And I think that's the big thing here: communication. Communication. If your team is communicating and you guys can put forward a strategy, it makes the world of difference getting a team that is maybe not, either not playing next to each other, not in Discord or TeamSpeak. So, I mean, I think we're seeing wonderful coordination from the Bisons. And you can hear it in the room. The Bisons are absolutely, they're talking to each other. They're communicating with each other.
Yeah, no, that coordination is definitely key. And again, that aggression, the Bisons, they put themselves in a bad spot, but they didn't really back off. They really kept the pressure up and managed to get that point turned relatively quickly. And even now you're seeing them defending with aggression. So.
Yeah, absolutely. We just saw Golden Shadow, so Lana Knutson is the LCBI tank. It looks like we got, we're kind of worried about a team wipe here with, oh wow, yeah, hey, they got the Mercy. Okay, so what you saw there is the character with the wings who's kind of behind that column right now. Mercy, that was the enemy support, very effective healer, got taken out. So what the Bisons are doing is they're staying in cover, waiting for their team to respawn and get back in the action. So they don't get team wiped. With Overwatch, it's really funny because you could have a great gameplay. It looks like it's going well, but as soon as one of your characters gets KO'd, gets knocked out, your whole team starts to shatter because now as opposed to 5-on-4 or 5-on-5, now it's 5-on-4, and then at 5-on-3. So again, it almost compounds the amount of damage that happens. But we're seeing a pretty aggressive push from Oregon.
The ultimate ability by Golden Shadow there just absolutely changed that battle mode. That was huge, epic ultimate ability there by Golden Shadow.
Do you want to tell us about the ultimate ability?
Yeah, so the ultimate ability you'll see down in the bottom center of the player's screens. You can see, Golden Shadow's got the 3 there. Each character has an ultimate ability, and it really can be a game changer if used properly in the right situation, the right timing to change the course of a battle. And we saw that there. It felt like the Bisons were really starting to get back on their heels with that big push, and that ultimate ability really changed the course of that battle and did a lot of damage. Really great job by the Bisons there.
Yeah, that's huge. Obviously, we won round 1. If you're looking up at your screens, in the top center of the screens, you'll see those little percentages. That's the percentage capture points that we're trying to get up to 100%. We see the one next to there. Obviously, Control is a best-of-3 game mode. So if we win this one, that's it. Game 1 is one of this series, I guess. So yeah, Bison's off to a great start. We're gonna see if they learned anything from that last engagement and not get choked up. I saw Mercy's head up there. We're currently following Christopher Summick, aka C-Play Games. He is one of our support players. And we can see him just kind of poking his head, being relatively strategic, not standing still. That has to be the best advice I think anybody could give, is just don't stand still. Caleb, do you want to tell us about what happens if you stand still?
Yeah, standing still is not great because it makes it easier for the enemy team to pick you off, and it's just not a great strategy to play. Now, in some situations, it does work, but very few.
Yeah. So sometimes you got to, obviously, if you're in a safer position, if you're on the open like this, you have to be moving, which means your responsiveness has to be so high. So, oh boy. Okay, yeah. You want to, Mark? You want to tell the crowd what just happened there? Oh, looks like we lost Mark. Okay, so what happened there is we had one of the tank players for Oregon use one of their abilities, a chain hook, pulled in Christopher Summick, targeted the support, saw that he was making too much, essentially being too big of a nuisance to Oregon. So they targeted him, and that's kind of what we're seeing now. Oregon's pushing back, they're trying to target. Looks like we're trading blow for blow on the Bisons. Oregon has control of the capture point. They need to get access to the objective, otherwise they're going to lose this round. And we're going to go into round 3. Bison's getting just absolutely knocked out here. Absolutely knocked out.
Yeah,
but that's okay.
Bison's definitely peaking where they shouldn't have been, and put themselves, trying to lay down some damage, but putting themselves in a position to get picked off there, and definitely cost themselves some time for sure.
Yeah, I mean, this is really no different. We see this often in these regular season game modes where you do round one, game one, or whatnot, and what ends up happening is they have a little locker room talk. They say what went bad, what could they do better, and then they come out swinging. That's what we saw. So I think a really good rally from Oregon here. But Bison's with an impressive push, pushing their way onto the objective, and now we're going to see the Bison's percentage go up. Really, really cool stuff here. Now, I know with Control, it does matter how many players you have actually on the capture point. I believe it goes, is it up to 3, or am I thinking Flashpoint?
Yeah, that's Flashpoint and Hybrid for sure.
Okay.
Is where that counts, yeah.
Okay, so with this, as long as we maintain control of the objective, then that percentage point goes up regardless. Okay.
That's correct, yeah.
So let's take a look here. We got here Banana Josh, fan favorite Banana Josh, as support. Both trading, healing, and I imagine try not to soak up much aggro, but just targeting the appropriate Bison. If you're wondering why he's shooting at his teammates, that's a healing gun. It heals them. It brings up their health. So we're gonna go to first person mode here just to see how fast your reflexes have to be in order to effectively play this game. We're seeing it from Josh Denholm's perspective here, where he's trading, or going between debuffing the enemy while also simultaneously healing the Bisons. But we have Christopher Summick here, yet not looking great. Not sure if he should have made that charge, but
that was a really good ult by the opposing team there. Really changed that battle in their favor. So we'll see if the Bisons can flip this back again.
It's going to have to be a mad dash. They got 10% now to get in there. They're going to have to take a risk. Doesn't always pay off. But it looks like not too bad. It looks like it's a contested. We're going into overtime here. If the Bisons have to take on, this is close. We're trading. Okay, there we go.
Nice.
So, team kill. This is great. Woo! Now Bisons are going to have to set up a defense to stall Oregon from rallying and taking the objective. So essentially, how the turns have tabled.
And we see Dreamin' Bacon getting close to his ult. That may be beneficial in this last team fight. They're really only going to have one shot to take it back from us now. So
yeah, this is it. Okay, so we have his ult ready.
Down here.
Oh, there we have it. Okay, so they're on the
didn't
objective.
Get a pick, but
Behind the Ash.
Nice.
Okay, we're in overtime. It's done. Bison's
yes,
have it locked in. Man, that is game one for the Bisons.
Let's go. Well, that was really well played. Again, that aggression at the right times paid off for the Bisons, and not giving up. That was an impressive round.
Yeah, I was kind of worried there when they held control and they hit over that 50%. I was like, oh boy, we might be going into round 3 here. But yeah, no, Bisons. Yeah, you're right. Like it was. All right, well, let's go take maybe a calculated risk. We're watching play of the game there, impressive play of the game. But okay, so we're going into our second game mode, and we're going to go to Caleb Turden. Caleb, talk about Hybrid.
Okay, thanks, Mr. Patrick. So Hybrid is a game mode which starts with an assault capture point, so kind of similar to what we saw last game mode, but then it continues with an escort objective. So basically, they have to push a little like cart or car type thing. Then once the attacking team captures the initial point, both teams' spawn locations are moved. The payload is then unlocked, and the players must escort the payload through 2 checkpoints to win. Then overtime will be triggered if time runs out while the payload or capture point is being contested by the attacking.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, Hybrid, very interesting game mode. I think it mixes a lot of different play styles, and it forces the teams to have to adapt. I think initially when you see that Hybrid, you have to capture the capture point and then escort the payload. Well, if the defending team, and we're going to have 2 different teams here, the defending team is going to try and lock down that capture point, and usually those capture points have a choke point. So it's going to be really important for the players to know the maps and have strategies depending on whatever map they're playing. Mark, do you want to talk about like what kind of preparation the Bisons, LCBI Bisons, have been doing for the hybrid game mode?
Yeah, so the team spends a lot of time practicing on different strategies. Really working on looking for angles, like you said, identifying choke points, putting them together to understand what positioning is going to work best there for their comps. Because every character that you put in there changes your strategy a little bit. So there's a lot of strategy that goes into this, and hybrid really employs a lot of that. The communication that you spoke about earlier becomes absolutely critical to make sure that you're calling out, to make sure, as they try and maneuver either through or around those choke points, that the team is adapting as required. So
yeah,
strategy really comes into play here.
Absolutely. And then when the payload starts moving, obviously that changes it up for both teams. Defensively, you have to say, well, is there a strategic place that we should fall back to, or do we keep going? Give a big push and try to recapture or capture, I guess, the payload, maybe push you back a few. But let's go to Caleb Turton. So Caleb, you've been playing Overwatch 2 now for a couple of years. What's one of the things you enjoy the most about playing hybrid game mode?
Yeah, so I have been playing for a little while now. I did join this group a little later, but that's besides the point. I like hybrid because it can take a long time, but there's also lots of interesting things that go on, like you said, and tables can get turned really fast. Either it's an aggressive push or it's still back and forth trying to get on the point. So it's a very variable game mode with lots of different skills and abilities being used, and it's a fun one.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's take a shift before this next game mode starts, or hybrid game mode starts. Let's talk about, like, were there any notable players on Oregon's team, Mark, that you saw that you were like, okay, that player is going to give us trouble? Is there anybody that you kind of saw or noticed, or? Nope, I think we lost Mark.
Sorry about that, guys. I was on mute. Wanted to make sure I wasn't interrupting. So Avalon definitely, they're definitely a high functioning player. You could tell the effectiveness that they had. You could tell that the Bisons were somewhat prepared and ready to work on that. So they did a really great job. The one thing I'll say is they. Oregon team did a great job of coming back in that second portion of the map with different characters, and I think that kind of took the Bisons off guard. So that shows me that we knew they were going to be a tough test, obviously a top 15 team, and so we knew that was going to be a challenge for us for sure, and they're proving it. That was a really good match, but I would say Avalon. Opposition team is one to watch for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and we saw that even last season with them having one or two key players that that just even being in the room with the Bisons as they're playing, or they're like, you can just hear them shout, "Get that one! Get that one! Get that one!" Like whenever you have guys, and especially the damage players. You have a damage player. It's like you almost have to sacrifice. Sticking together, playing as a team, is like send a couple of your players to go hunt that person down because they're just doing so much damage.
It's a lot like in a hockey game. When you've got Alex Ovechkin on the ice, you're going to have somebody watching him, right? It's the same idea here, right?
Yeah. Okay, so looks like we don't. Okay, we're assembling our heroes now, so we're going to get the hybrid game mode going here. I'm not sure if we're on offense or defense yet.
I believe we're on defense.
Yeah, we're on defense. Okay, awesome. So what the Bisons are going to have to do is they're going to have to go get to the objective, set up a choke point. So when the gate drops, Oregon will be facing a ready-to-go Bison defense. So, we're preparing our defenses. Let's kick things off. We're looking at, Banana Josh playing the infamous Bubbly Girl. Mark, do you want to talk to us about the character that Josh Denholm's playing?
Yeah, so Josh is playing Juno, really mobile, support character. You can see they've got some movement boosts and speed boosts for the team. Again, like a lot of the support, they're going to be shooting their own team to do healing. And what's really great about Juno is some of the speed boosts that they can give your team in the middle of a combat mix can really make the difference, especially when some of your other characters are not as mobile. So we'll see how that happens here.
Yeah, and I imagine it's probably good that Josh is playing a character that is that mobile and can get out of harm's way. But it's good. It's good. I like seeing that. Banana Josh, game starts. Oregon's off on the run. We see that choke point there. Banana Josh has the high. Oh, okay. I don't know if that was a sniper shot or looks like Oregon has flanked the Bisons and have actually broken into, shattered the Bison defense. Not actually. That was relatively decent flanking. Let's go to Caleb. Caleb, what would you do in this instance?
I would just get regrouped. Don't worry about that. That's rough that we lost our defense, but that defense was led by a nice shot by a player that eliminated Dream and Bacon. He is part of the backbone of our team, and that's a bit rough. But in this situation, yeah, just regroup and we'll get this going again, and then hopefully stop them from pushing the payload any further than necessary.
Yeah, absolutely. So
you can see that substitution that Oregon made. That player is playing a character called Reaper, and they're just wreaking havoc in our backline. They've got the Bisons a little turned around here, and so it's causing some issues for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. The flanking is something that we saw last season. You could have a well-oiled, well-groomed machine. And then all it takes is one player in the back. The next thing you're thinking, you're facing forward. I mean, we're in first-person mode here. If somebody comes up from the back, the only way you're going to know is if you either hear something on the comms or you get damaged. And by that point, with some players, some DPS players, it's too late. So yeah, Bisons looks like they're doing exactly what Caleb said they're going to do. They've regrouped. They're trying to assault the payload. Payload is that little floating hover car that we see there. Right now it is, I believe, contested, and Oregon's got it 100 meters. So what Oregon has to do is Oregon has to get it to the next objective in 4 minutes and 9 seconds now. Looks like they're going to hit checkpoint 1, and then they get time added to them. So now I guess we're playing right to the end. Bisons have 5 minutes and 28 seconds to stop Oregon, right? Mark, Caleb, one of you, tell me what happens if they do end up getting it to the objective and the Bisons do the same thing when it's their turn to attack. Do we go with whoever has the fastest time, or how is that calculated? Who wins the round?
I'm swapping that.
I believe if one team has more time, then they win. But if it's like equal, then we'll go into another round of hybrid.
So we'll go into another round, and the team with the least amount of time will attack first, and if they're able to get at least a third, things continue on, and the other team will attack. But basically, it will be kind of like an overtime match where the clock no longer gains additional time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, huge. So I'm gonna say one thing I've noticed substantially this season from last. I would say that last season, the Bisons were very skilled at defense, very skilled at defense. Whereas right now I'm seeing that I'm excited to see what their offense is. Have we noticed a big difference in their defense versus offense, and how proficient they are maybe in that?
Yeah, I would suggest the biggest thing is, we've seen them definitely even some things out for the most part. This is definitely not, I wouldn't suggest their normal gameplay here. This Reaper's really got them off their game, and they're going to have to get that figured out here very shortly.
Yeah, we just saw 2 KOs from Dream and Bacon. Really impressive there. It was kind of a consecutive headshots. I think definitely a running for play of the game. So yeah, I mean, yeah, Kobe Spear. I would say Kobe, one of our most skilled player, if not the most skilled player. Another headshot.
Woo!
Yeah, I mean, short of including a 360 in there, that was absolutely phenomenal. Maybe a no scope.
Yeah, I think he was taking it personal, the work that Avalon was doing on the opposite team using the same character, and decided
speaking
to
of
put it
Avalon,
down.
looks like we have our rivalry. Poor Kobe Spear taken out by his rival Avalon. So I think we're going to be seeing a tit for tat right away here, but yikes, and that looks like we're close to a team wipe. We have Christopher Summick, C-Play Games here, just trying to cause just a bit of confusion, just give by his team some time to respawn, but taken out. Okay, so here we go, Bisons go, oh my good, poor Banana Josh. Poor, but he didn't stand a chance, he was just out of the respawn.
Widow.
Okay, but here we go. We got Dreamin' Bacon back, and we're currently following Christopher Summick. Round 1 complete. Okay, so we have Oregon finishing that in 2 minutes and 27 seconds. They got, the reason you're seeing 3 points is because they got the first point for capturing the objective, the second point for getting it to the first check, the second point for getting it to the checkpoint, and then the third one is for bringing it home. So now the Bisons, okay, we see the Bisons, they're getting ready, so they're going to have to be the ones on the offensive now. We see that the time limit's up there for Oregon. Let's go, Mark. What are you hoping to see different from the Bisons in this round?
Yeah, they're hopefully they've got a bit of a plan to deal with the switch in tactics that we've seen out of Oregon with a lot of flanking. They're going to have to watch for Avalon. We saw some of their skill. With that sniper position. This is a very pro sniper map. So we're going to have really watch our angles as we do come into it. But looking to see the aggression, we can see Golden Shadow has switched tanks to Diva, which is a very, very mobile tank, and is definitely deft at hunting down some of those DPS players that we've been struggling with. So looking forward to seeing how that aggression plays into this.
Yeah, and we see Diva there warming up for for the game mode there. Kind of fun. I like the emojis. I like the emojis. That's fun. That they're having fun. But okay, so and the gate is up. And let's go to first-person mode here with Golden Shadow. Obviously going to be leading the charge here. Going to be front and center, making sure that that Oregon is targeting her, not the teammates. We can see there a bit of a flank, I believe, from the Bisons trying to get around and essentially mimic the strategy that Oregon imposed on them. And we see Skyfire up there. Yeah, just again, causing chaos. What was a well-oiled defensive machine is now broken. Oh, and Diva lost her mech, and they hunted Diva down. Okay. So we got Banana Josh here. Banana Josh throwing Pokemon cards at his teammates and the enemy. Yeah, Josh is supporting, throwing some healing at them. And what do we got here? Okay, so we're just buying time. We're buying time, waiting for the tank to get back in there. Yeah, I think that's the right call. Caleb, what do you think? Do you wait for the tank, or do you just rush in there?
No, you really gotta wait for the tank, because if you rush in when you're like two down, 3 down, then you'll get spawn staggered. So spawn time can be different.
But Caleb, Josh has Pokemon cards.
yeah, that's true. But healers are also quite squishy, so they don't have a lot of health. So it's really important to wait to have a full team together to push, so then we don't get spawn staggered, and then we'll have their success, our push.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, with Overwatch, I mean, is it a good strategy to send your guys in one person at a time? Absolutely not. Because then you got 5 guns pointing at one person, and as they've said in the cartoon, you're gonna have a bad time. Speaking of bad times, okay, Bisons maybe a bit uncoordinated here. Yeah, I'm hearing not to stagger themselves, so we're waiting for the Bisons to get back into the action here. Looks like Lana Knutson, the tank, is trying to keep the pressure up just enough, I believe, so that they don't reset up their defensive position. Right, keeping the pressure on just enough so that it keeps Oregon guessing, well, where are their players. I believe we have the full support of the Bisons now. The tank here is on its own. Tank versus tank, not doing too great. Lana doing all she can without her mech. There we go.
Oh,
enemy,
nice.
enemy tank down.
That was a nice kill there.
Awesome, yeah.
That was big. That was big.
Okay, so Bison's recapturing or trying to capture the initial point. Looks like we have Lana Knutson getting the tank. Let's jump back into first-person mode. Take a look and see Lana hunting down the enemy tank, keeping the pressure up. Nice. You know, again, it's a risk. It's a risk when the tank moves away from the objective. That risk paid off. All right.
And now you can see that they're definitely. It's strange to see the tank in this flanking position, but again, like you said, calculated risk.
Yeah, because you said you get the high ground, and I said, and when you're, I guess you put yourself in the perspective of the opposing team. You're looking to stop the objective. Well, you get up into a nice high choke point or a nice high just like this, and who do you expect to see? Not the tank. So when you come across, okay. Yeah, that we might need to save this replay. Go back and watch that in slow-mo. That headshot with a pistol, an absolutely incredible shot. Okay, so we see Dreamin' Bacon pushing up. Let's see if we switch to Dreamin' Bacon. Here we go. Definitely ahead of the pack. So scouting for the objective. Keeping the enemy team away from the objective, trying to hunt them down. Good play by Kobe. There we go. Okay, just toying with his prey. Oh boy!
And you can see they're coming after him now.
Yeah, but I think that played off. I think that because again, when they were hunting down Kobe, where were they not? They weren't attacking the objective. So even if it was a noble sacrifice. Kobe's sacrifice was not in vain. Okay.
Yeah. Time for space. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what we're looking at now is Bisons have got the capture, made it past the first objective, making good progress here, and hopefully they can get it to bringing it home.
So I see Sky King has his ultimate ability here. We'll see if he finds a place to unleash it here.
Okay. So Sky King. Let's take a look. Let's switch to Sky King here. Sky King, here we go. Yeah, I think, biding his time. Oh, very nice.
Yep, there we go. Nice, yep. Well done.
Yeah, just really enough to...
Broke the defense. That was really great.
Yeah, right place, right time. Good call on Sky King, on Jeremy Flath there. So yeah, I think we're going to have no trouble pushing and bringing this home. Let's see how we're doing for time. Okay, so we have less time than Oregon. But happy to see that this is going to, I believe, overtime, I guess you could say.
Yep, definitely. Yep.
Okay, looks like the enemy team has a Mercy. I'm trying to notice, okay, where's the Avalon player? Is that Avalon the
They're playing Widow. Yep.
Okay, looking like
Ash, sorry, Ash.
Yeah, they're switched to playing Ash.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, Ash. Okay. So yeah, I'm thinking there's definitely going to be a rival there between our Kobe Spear, because I think they have very similar gameplay styles as well as character selection.
Yeah, very much. Yeah, they're definitely playing the same type of game for sure. So.
Yeah. Okay, looks like the Bisons have gone in and kind of conjumbled Oregon's defenses here. Okay, I'm thinking the Bisons need to maybe coordinate their damage a bit better here. Kind of looks like we were jumping from one character to another. I don't see this working out great for Lana Knutson. See if she can. Oh, and she's gone.
Oh.
Okay, so now we see the Bisons. Okay, they have just over a minute in order to recapture that and push that objective, and they got to wait for Lana Knutson to respawn. We see here Lana making her way downtown, and Banana Josh with his Pokemon cards. And Chris Summik again, kind of lurking, jumping around, trying not to be a static target. All right, and we're down to 40 seconds. This is gonna be close. This is gonna be tight. The Bisons should not be at the front door.
That was a really good defensive setup by Oregon there. They did a good job, dividing the attentions and making LCBI focus. Oh, and look at Josh. Josh backtapping and has pushed the point. Wow, well done. Well done. What a save.
That was ridiculous. Oh, they got him. Oh my god.
Well done by Josh. That backtap strategy just kept them alive.
Oh yeah, they're like, I think the same thing that we were doing. Oregon was saying, oh yeah, we got this. They're done. No, little sneaky banana Josh. Okay, I'll show you Pokemon cards. Gets in there, just sneaks around. Yeah, nobody look back here. Everything's fine.
Well, and good job on the rest. Good job on the rest of the Bisons to keep them busy. Keep the pressure up enough that they didn't notice that. And so, I'm assuming if I was in the room, you'd be able to hear them communicating. So well done.
Now I don't know if that was a communicative effort or if they just. Banana Josh saw an opening and was like, "Oh, here's the objective." Yeah, that's gonna be our post game interview. Is gonna be again LCBI fan favorite Banana Josh.
I like
But
it.
okay, so now we're going to a mini game. Mark, tell us about the mini game. So what do we have to do here?
Tacky?
Yeah, so you can see the Bisons with the less time, they're going to be on attack, so that's why they go right back to attack. They have to get to at least a third of that control point. To really have any hope of continuing on. And you can see that Avalon's got 3 minutes, so they will have a chance to attack afterwards. And again, it's basically just the same thing over again, but no additional time will be awarded.
Okay, so essentially, who can get the furthest?
That's right. Yep.
Okay, so I'm hoping that Lana is remaining relatively close to the healers. Getting targeted real quick. We got to get the Bisons seeing that opening and getting in there, spreading out the Oregon defense. Lana doing a pretty good job staying alive despite not having her mech. And there we go, back in the mech, back in the action. Good breach of the defenses. Yeah, they're targeting Roadhog, which is the enemy tank. He's gone. And now the Bisons are attacking the Mercy character, the healer. Got to knock her out. As soon as she's out, then Bison. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm not sure what happened there.
So Golden Shadow used their ultimate ability, but then was taken out outside of their mech, and right now it's going to be really tough for the Bisons to take this point because they have to stream in to get there.
Okay, overtime reset, overtime. Yeah, this is like every round complete.
Yeah. So okay. that was really good on the Bisons. It's really hard to get any control with only a minute. They did really well there. So now we're going to see. So basically, if Avalon or the Oregon group here gets a third of that control wheel, if they can do that in this 3 minutes and 13 seconds, then they will win this game round. If the Bisons can hold them off the point and not give them any control, this will actually be a draw. So that's what the Bisons are playing for now, is a draw in this game mode.
Okay, so let's see. The Bison's got 3 minutes. 3 minutes to hold the enemy line. So they obviously get the another 37 seconds here to set up their defenses, get their choke points. I guess, Caleb, how do you think the Bisons are feeling right now?
They're probably not feeling great because they couldn't push on to that point as well as they'd like. They put in a solid effort. That's for sure. They did their very, very best, but unfortunately, their best wasn't quite enough. But yeah, they will be disappointed. But now all they have to do is just hold them off, hold the Oregon team off for three minutes, and then they will hopefully work for a draw.
Yeah.
And what you are seeing here is, again, two really high functioning teams. So, the offense is definitely really good on both sides of this.
Yeah. So we're currently watching Dream and Bacon Kobe Spear. and trying to find just a little sneaky angle there to apply some pressure on them to dissuade them from pushing. And it looks like he's baiting one of the Oregon players into a little kill zone here. Not too bad sure. I'm not sure if they got him or not. Nope, still causing havoc. Oh, it looks like that's the Reaper. Looks like Kobe Spear's gonna try and push, but again, this is one of those weird game modes where, or I should say, games in general, where you have to be able to shift your focus in a moment. Whereas if you're not shooting at someone, you better go find someone to apply that damage to, because you can bet their entire team is trying to lay on the hurt on yours. So yeah, I think really this game is damage output. All right, let's shift gears here. We got Christopher Summick. They do have that Reaper behind enemy lines. Hopefully that will be dealt with soon. I heard actually Sky King say that he has his... Oh.
He's very close. He's on 96% right now. He has it now, so hopefully he will get in there and use it right away.
Oh, we got someone on the point.
Somebody's on the point. Oh, look, they're trying the Banana Josh method.
Good reaction by the Bisons.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. That was a nice play there.
Yeah, really well played.
Oh.
Now they do have the tank on there, so it's all hands on deck. Well done by the Bisons.
Yeah.
A nice
Well
stop
done.
for sure.
Yep, that's big.
Okay,
That was big.
So now they're at a minute. So this is... They've essentially evened the odds. All right, so let's see if the Bisons can continue. Very impressive. I have to say, very impressive defensive play. Very impressive defensive play.
Oh, wow. Good job by our damage there to take out that new tank. Well done.
Yeah, you can definitely tell. I wonder if that's going to be, if that's working for Oregon. This constantly switching players or characters.
Oh, we didn't need that. Hey, Gold, we have your ult.
Okay, let's see here. So this is obviously using the ult.
Yeah, but I think he was a bit too late on that ult, so that's why he didn't hit anyone. But that's okay. Things happen. It's not great.
Yeah.
Ults can change the game, but that's just a little mistake that
Yep,
won't work.
they've only got 10 seconds, so it's a big push all out for Oregon here.
Yeah.
Hey! Woo!
Draw!
That's wow.
I've never been so excited. Never been so excited for a draw.
If you look, definitely a fairy tale result. All right, Dream and Bacon. Here we go. Kobe Spear, grade 12 is Widowmaker. See what he gets here. Okay, damage.
Wow.
Boom. There's a headshot. Okay, this is what we were talking about. It's definitely a contender for the. We're gonna see some damage there, but okay, really, this is a fairy tale moment. All thanks to LCBI fan favorite Banana Josh.
100%. You look at little things that change the direction of a game, and that's a big one.
No, we would have lost if it wasn't for Josh just being like, oh, there's the objective. Just like saunters up to it, just caps it, just sitting on. You can just picture him sitting on it, and people just like. Big old firefight happening, and he's just there like eating an apple. Bye guys.
I would love to have been able to have a blood pressure monitor on him while he was sitting there waiting, just hoping someone wasn't going to turn around. So
yeah, you see him crouch. Please don't see me. Please don't see me. Please don't see me. Yeah, but no. Okay. So Josh gave the Bisons a chance, but it was up to the team to really take advantage of that, and they did. Obviously, I think both teams. Set up impressive defenses in this regard. Obviously, the objectives weren't captured. I think definitely a couple close calls. Bisons could have snuck it out, but let's jump to the. We're going into our. So I believe that's a draw. So we're going into our third game mode. So just for everybody's knowledge, so the third game mode is Flashpoint. So Flashpoint is a game mode released in Season 6 and bears some similarities to Control. Each Flashpoint map has 5 capture points called Flashpoints. And a team must capture 3 to win the game. Flashpoint's capture speed is much faster than Control capture point. Once a team captures a point, the next point will unlock after 40 seconds. The first point to unlock is always in the center of the map, but subsequent points may be any of the other 4, as long as it has not been used during that match. So team spawns will change locations as flashpoints are captured, and the objective moves around the map. So let's go with Mark. Mark, what do you think the Bison strategy has to be to get this successful? You've seen Avalon play a couple different game modes now. Where do you think the Bisons have to be in order to sneak out a victory here?
So I know we've talked about this a bit already, but communication is going to be key here because Flashpoint, you're moving around the map, but the target is going to shift throughout the gameplay, and being able to effectively move it as a team and get set up again efficiently and communicate where the enemy's coming at you is going to be huge in this game mode, especially because we've seen Avalon being able to flank really well. We saw that in that last game match that they were able to do that. But that last defense, we saw LCBI communicate and kind of mitigate that. So that's what I'm looking for here.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Mark. I think I think I want to say we're evenly matched.
I would agree with that. This is a phenomenal match. I'm loving seeing this. It's very tight. Again, the stress level that these kids are under today, higher than most people would be able to understand, competing at this high level.
Yeah, I think, because Bison's right now, so we're leading the series. So we won game 1, we tied game 2, and that game 2 took a while. That took a while. I mean, typically games last maybe 15, 20 minutes. 20 minutes is a long one. I mean, we're already been playing for what now, 40, 50 minutes right now?
Our last few matches have been completely finished in 35. So you can tell how evenly matched this is, and the team's trading shots. So it's fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, this is. I think whenever you play in leagues like this, it's always a challenge when it's either you have a very obviously a disparity between the players' skill. It's either the team is significantly worse than yours, and you clean them up quick. It's like, yeah, boom, boom, done. Or it's the teams are like really good, and you're the one getting creamed. But I'd say game matches like this aren't very rare until later on in the season, and we kind of get the leveling out a little bit better. And I guess you kind of experience that in ranked play as well. After it takes you a while to get your player score in, you get more of those evenly matched games. But this is absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah. It definitely has a playoff match feel to it. And again, with both of these teams being in the top 15, highly likely that they'll both be in the playoffs. So again, an early season view for some of our followers into what the playoffs are hopefully going to look like for the Bisons this year.
Yeah. I mean, crazy to think. I mean, we're 49 minutes, almost 50 minutes in, and we're just getting to game 3. I mean, the good news, I should say good news, or just the reality, Flashpoint, very, very fast game mode. Very fast game mode. So let's go, Caleb. Caleb, what's one of the things that you don't like about Flashpoint? What's one of the things that concerns you about Flashpoint?
One thing that does concern me is it can go back and forth, and if we don't control the back and forth or take it back, then a loss is possible. But the back and forth is also good because then it provides a challenge and some
and multiple opportunities, right? It's like okay, so bit of back. Now, one thing I'm concerned with is if these game modes, it's kind of easy to lose if you're not really paying attention to the score. You're living in the moment. You might think you have more time than you actually do, and then they capture the flashpoint. You look, you notice half your team is in the respawn. It can be stressful if you're not coordinating. Just like Mark, you said at the beginning, you have to coordinate, you have to communicate, and we'll see if the Bisons have what it takes to squeeze out another win here. Okay, so we are live. We're looking at there's Dream and Bacon. Mark, do you want to tell us about the character that Kobe Spear is currently playing?
You bet. So Kobe's playing Sojourn. Again, a really mobile DPS. You'll see some of their abilities. That's the stuff you see in the bottom right of your screen are the abilities that each character has, and a lot of movement and space controlling abilities, and a high rate of fire weapon that's used more for suppression. So again, meant for controlling space is what that character is best for.
Yeah, awesome. I see he's rocking the Canadian flag. That's right. Yeah, that's the true north, strong and free, but we're kicking off the gameplay here. Somebody already got KO'd? Or no, that's all, he was just pinging the health. I thought that was somebody needing help. I was like, oh my god, well that was quick. Let's shift gears here. And here we are, Sky King, so Jeremy Flath, grade 12. Doing not too bad. I imagine he's debuffing right now while mixing between debuffing and healing.
So Sky King, again, is more of a beam control here, so really requires a lot of focus to do a lot of damage.
Mm-hmm. Okay, looks like we got a Bison team wipe. They're trying to hunt down Porco. Oh, they got him. and they tagged his final resting place. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're back. The Bisons, 3 of them have respawned. We're good. Back in the action. But we see that right now Oregon has tied for capture points, and they have the objective. Bison's got to break in there, take the objective, and push. I'm wondering, would a flank be ideal in this situation?
It could be, but again, the characters that Avalon are playing require a lot of focused damage to take them down. So hard to flank and put that kind of damage down. So
yeah. Okay, Bison's slowly checking them off. There we go. 3 of Oregon down. Looks like they got a tank and a support player, and they're slowly. Oh, okay, yeah, that's what you want to see. That's what you want to see. We saw
there
Oregon.
This is good.
Defense shattered. One by one, their players got taken out, and now Bisons have the capture point and are on the hunt. Trying to say, not only don't even think about taking the objective. Don't even think about thinking about taking the objective. Even going out to apply pressure to push them further back to buy them more time, and that couldn't have came a moment too soon. Oregon at 94%. Buys
the one thing.
Oh yeah.
The one thing to note with Flashpoint is you see the percentages of the control points are going up much faster than the other control points normally do.
Mm-hmm.
So that is one thing that in this game mode to watch.
Yeah, and it looks like the more players you have on it, the faster that percentage tick goes. I mean, you kind of put yourself, it's this weird mix between putting yourself in a vulnerable position, where you're surrounded, but you're capping. Oh my goodness, this is absolute pandemonium.
That was a big ult by Avalon, big ult.
Yeah, I mean, and there we go. Okay, so the first flashpoint has been captured. Oregon has one up on us for this game mode. Next flashpoint is about to open up in another 28 seconds. Bisons need to get there, set up their defense. And yeah, I mean, again, this is definitely a fast game mode, and Oregon is there to meet them.
And we do have 4 ults going into this fight, so hopefully the ult management is used well by LCBI.
Yeah, I mean, I know that's one of the most crucial things. And Caleb, I know you could talk to that. When you have an ult and then you use it and you don't get any of them.
Yeah, for sure. Alt management is quite key in this situation. I mean, we have 4, and we should use them as many. It looks like one was used by Banana Josh, which is good. So that put us on the point. But yeah, alt management is key. You don't want to hold it for a long time, but you also don't want to use it in the wrong time. So looks like they used a good one there by Banana Josh to push onto the point, and now they just have to hold the point.
There we go. We see Banana Josh slowly getting in there into the action first-person mode, and just seeing how fast their mouse is. I can't sit and watch this very fast, or for very long. I get a headache. But you just see how responsive these Bisons are, where they can quickly, in the moment of an instant, do a 3 or a 180, heal another teammate, and then move on to the next one. Yeah, I know. I remember when I first played Overwatch. I accidentally used my ult on a wall,
Yep, exactly.
I was like, what does this do? And then they're like, no, what are you doing? My team got mad at me. They got mad at me. Let's just say I'm not holding out any hope for me and a professional Overwatch career. But Bison's doing a good job holding the objective. We're at 89, 90%. Okay, so we have essentially... Oh, okay, so we're at 97%. We've essentially traded places with Oregon. This is what last game looked like. But we got here Dreamin' Bacon with an ult, which is going to be exciting to see him go in and do max damage. They're essentially, I think, going to be doing the same thing. They have all their team on the objective to try and speed up that timer. Dreamin' Bacon trying to buy time for his team to get in. What's his ult going to look like, Mark?
So his ult is basically going to give him a rapid fire on his railgun, which just does a tremendous amount of damage. So when he uses that, he's going to be trying to get some picks, and like you said, it'll cause some mayhem. Here we go. Yep.
Oh, they're hiding. They're hiding.
You can tell they heard it and they're hiding because they know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. So good time, definitely. Oh my goodness moment. Oh my goodness moment. Oh, and we see the end of Dreamin' Bacon. But we got the team. They're still going. Remember, if you ever see a Bison shooting another Bison, that's just for health. Just don't worry. No, there's that Avalon. Oh! Poor Christopher Summick. Dreamin' Bacon was not there to protect him. His arch nemesis. But, okay, we're in overtime at 99 and 97%. This is a do-or-die moment. And looks like Oregon has the second flashpoint. Okay, so now we're going to the third. Now, if Oregon gets this third flashpoint, we got to capture every single flashpoint for the rest of this game mode in order to win this round. If not, this becomes all tied up. It becomes LCBI Game 1, draw Game 2, Oregon Game 3, but it's not over yet. I mean, that's one thing we've seen, and the fans of the LCBI Bisons have seen. It's that they're the anti-Maple Leafs. They don't choke. If anything, they get heightened near the end, and they squeak out victories here. So this is gonna be an exciting finish.
Aga's dead.
Oh, here we go.
Oh-ho!
Looks like we're getting a nice push. Looks like they canceled one of the opposing team's ults made by Genji, which is kind of like a sword and kunai wielding ninja type.
Nice.
That worked out well in their favor, actually.
Yeah.
Yep, you're right. That was really well done.
All right, so they're all kind of on the objective. I don't know, Mark. Would you have all of the players on the objective right now to speed up that timer, or would you have them in these more better defensive positions?
Yeah, with the amount of gameplay left, I think the strategy is more important than the number of players. But it really depends on how they're feeling about the game. So.
Yeah, I know. I'm greedy. 100%. I'd be like, no, we all have to be on this. Let's up the time limit on this, like, or I guess increase the percentage progression. But I mean, obviously, we can see if all your players are in one location, that kind of an attack that we just saw there from their tank obviously would have been significantly more devastated. Whereas right now, the Bisons are a little bit more strategically spread out.
Bison's using that ult to their advantage and doing quite a bit of damage. So
we see their Avalon there, absolutely devastatingly accurate. And okay, looks like Kobe Spear has his ult, waiting for the team to catch up. Applying
again, we
pressure.
We got 3 ults. Oh, and a pick on Avalon there.
Yeah. That's what we want to see. Knock off that key chess piece. Okay, Kobe trying to stay in the fight. I guess that's the issue. That's the issue of like doing that flanking maneuver. You flank, it's great until they see you, and then it's 1-on-5. Yep. But this is looking like an
well done. Yep.
That was a good push.
Good push. They're hunting down Avalon. No, you get out of
Yeah.
here, Avalon. You get out of here. We're done with you.
Nice.
He's
Oh!
hiding back there to try and pick him off. But
Yeah,
looks
and
like
you
he got
think
it.
about that. You think about that,
Try-
Avalon.
try and stagger him and keep him out of his team's protection as long as you can. So
Yeah,
For sure.
absolutely. Okay, so now we're going on to the next. I told you this is like the Bisons, like the anti-Maple Leafs. They just go and they don't choke. They just don't choke. They get heightened senses, and they go into the next game out. So this is exciting. We got to cap this. I think obviously an early cap is good. Get on that point, assert your dominance, make whatchamacallit, Oregon second guess their strategy, make them choke. But it is nice seeing that Kobe Spear has an ult in the pocket.
yeah, he's hung on to that for a long time. A little longer than we'd want to see, hopefully. But
They're all low and just a good. It still has his ult. Still, he's like, you know what, guys? I'm not going to use it. I want this to be a fair match. Let's just not absolutely embarrass them. Not looking good. But okay, so Bisons have capped the point. We're making the percentage point. Now just watch us. Just absolutely obliterate them for the rest of the game. This is awesome. But I mean, again, this is like any other game, right? You get into your enemy team's head. They start doubting themselves, thinking, "Oh, we're gonna choke. Okay, I might use the ult now. This might be a good time to be like, all right, you get out of here. I mean, I don't think you want to hold on to your ult for too long, because I think the downside is you're not building ult for next round. Like, you're like, hey, well, I want to save it until I absolutely need it. Well, better to use it for a medium advantage, and then build it up another one before the end of the game. Whereas now, yeah, it's like, yeah, did he have to? No, but could he got a team wipe? Like, could he get a team wipe now? Like,
well, and that's they're going to be pushing hard, so you want to have every advantage you can, right? So
I wonder, can they see the? See, there you go.
Wait.
Can the enemy team see if the other players have alts or no?
only if you die to them, they can see it then.
Come on.
Okay.
So there we got the second point. That's that was a tough go. We were in rough shape, but we capped it. So
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so it's tied. The game, this game is all tied up. Whoever gets the final flag point.
and we just Golden Shadow and Dream and Bacon just managed to take out the enemy tank, caught him moving between points, and made him pay for it. So.
All right, looks like, and the flashpoint is opened. Abize is currently capturing it. Nope. Avalon taken out by, I believe that was Dream and Bacon. Banana Josh is under attack. We must protect our Banana Joshes at all costs.
Coming back.
Oh.
Help. Oh, help.
Yikes.
Oh, I got stuck.
Okay, it's kind of weird. I'm just hearing help and screams from the Bisons right now.
Yeah, Avalon being really aggressive, playing it well. This is a tough match, and they know we're down to the final flashpoint, right? So it's this is kind of do or die now.
This is it. Okay. Let's jump to. So Banana Josh has an alt. You want to talk to us about that alt, Mark?
Yeah. So Banana Josh's alt is one that will basically increase movement and attack speed for all our players in a straight pattern. So you want to kind of line up where your attack strategy is going to be and lay that ult out to help your team.
We might not have time to do that. Bison's better go and get on that objective quick. With there we go. Let's get Avalon.
We got 3 ults, so we definitely gotta move forward quickly
3 ults
here.
and 5% left. Bison's better make a move. Oh my goodness. Okay, we have a bit of pandemonium happening right now on the capture point.
Oh wow.
We're in overtime.
Looks like it's working. Yeah, it's working in the Bison's favor though. Looks like it did.
Yeah. So they did use all 3 of their ults to flip that map. On the plus side, Sky King and Golden Shadow both almost have their ults, so we'll have a couple more for the next fight.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the big things here is the Bisons can't get too separated. If they get too separated or too maybe Lone Ranger, it's not gonna. They're gonna get picked off real quick, especially from Avalon. I think Avalon is looking for blood, and the Bisons cannot give them an inch because at 99%, there's not a lot of room for error here. Okay, it looks like the Bisons have baited them into the capture point. Oh yikes! Okay, we're down 2 Bisons, 3 Bisons.
Oh, that ult might cost. That's a big ult there on.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay, and Christopher Summik has
Oh man, that was a tough go.
misjumped. I don't know, Anakin Skywalkered it. He misplayed, or he misunderstood the high ground. Okay, so then that's game 3 goes towards the Oregon Charter Academy. Okay, so yeah, Avalon. Here's Avalon play of the game.
Yeah, really accurate. Well played.
Yeah.
Well played.
Yeah, really well played. Okay, so now we're going into our 4th game mode, Push. Caleb Turden, do you want to tell us about Push?
Yeah, for sure. So Push is similar to Hybrid, but minus the capture point. So it's a game released alongside Overwatch 2. So there's been a previous game just called Overwatch. So this is the second version of that game. So 2 teams fight to escort a robot who pushes an objective onto the opposite or the enemy side of the map. Each map has 2 checkpoints along the objective path, and when a team escorts the robot past the first enemy checkpoint, their spawn is moved up to forward spawn. If neither team reaches both checkpoints, the team that pushed their objective the furthest wins, and overtime will trigger if the team with less progress has possession of the robot when the time expires.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a fun game mode. I'd say this is a classic Overwatch 2 game mode. The push robot, it's fun. Not a very popular streaming one because, as I said, if you have one team absolutely dominating the other, odds are you don't even get to see the push. So I'm excited that we're actually seeing the push game mode. And yeah, so Mark, what are we looking forward to from our Bisons? What do you think their strategy? Are they going to be swapping characters? Would you swap characters, or how would you deal with maybe Avalon and the rest of the Oregon team?
You know, again, a lot of these push maps are sniper heavy, so Avalon's, it's going to be in their wheelhouse. I'm looking for Dream and Bacon to kind of help take control of that. But again, that communication is going to be key. The biggest thing for the Bisons and push is you got to keep your spirits up. Now you're in a dogfight. You got to stick with it now and buckle down and rely on your communication and your skill. Again, this we wouldn't want to see anything less. These are 2 really great teams and a great match to watch. So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, and we're all tied up. We are all tied up, which means whoever wins this, it doesn't matter. We're still going to game 5, which is escort.
And the crazy thing, we're setting ourselves up. There's a chance there is a tie-breaking 6th game that could be on the docket. We've never seen it used in any of our LCBI matches in the last 3 seasons. So
yeah,
this is as close as it can be.
Well, this looks like the most skill matched game we've ever played.
I would agree with that 100%.
Yeah, it's either we have the clear advantage, and I think we've lost games where we've had the clear advantage, but we've also had games where we didn't have the advantage, but we still kind of snuck in a win. But this is just this is even. This is even.
Yep. Yeah, really well played. So, hats off to the Oregon Charter team. If they end up watching this replay, hats off to them too. Great skill level on both teams, and yeah. It's exciting to watch.
Yeah, great coordination. Absolute great coordination. So yeah, we're going in. So I see the Bisons are communicating. We have some students joining in and cheering them on. It's going to be an exciting game. So Caleb, what's one thing that you're noticing? Is there any kind of special shout outs that you would make based off of what you've seen in today's game?
We're seeing lots of ults being used at good times. Like they've changed the course of a game for sure by both teams. Like the ults are a game changer, and this is what I'd say this is the major point that has affected these games so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, I think, one of the things is holding on to those alts for as long as you do. You're giving up opportunities to build up additional alts, and I think that can come back to bite you. But again, it's in this game mode, if you don't need the alt, then you don't use the alt. But I think even just the fear of having the alt also it will give a team pause, saying like, okay, we haven't seen them use their alt. We know they're all alted up. Like you maybe proceed with a bit more caution there, but
for sure, yeah, and you're also planning on how to counter those alts, like like Caleb said. At one point, the Bisons did a good job of countering that Genji ult. That's can be as effective or game changing as using an ult effectively, as being able to counter an ult effectively. So, that's going to be important to watch as well.
Absolutely. So what do we know about the map selection here for this next game mode? So we're going into push. Is there a lot of different map selection for push? If so, what are the Bisons looking for an advantage?
Yeah, there's really only 4 maps for push, and I would suggest really there's 2 of them are the most common. So New Queen Street and Colosio are probably the 2 most commonly played. And again, they definitely fit to those sniper type attacks. They're fairly wide open with some long runs. So. But they do also prioritize mobile teams, which the Bisons prefer. They usually play relatively mobile teams. So we'll see which map they pick, but I believe it's New Queen Street. Yes, there we go.
Here it is, New Queen Street, a Canadian map. That's what I like to see. But okay, here we go. So Bisons have started selecting their team. So it said, as opposed to the other game modes where we had some defense, some offense, I see we're starting off in a curling rink. Love to see that. Love to see that. But Bisons are selecting their characters. We'll hopefully get a chance to watch them. The Toronto Raccoons curling club. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, I have to say, while we wait here, just really quickly, one of the things I like about Overwatch, I would say it's a very globally connecting game. A lot of the maps, I think it definitely gets the feel, or I don't want maybe a caricature feel of the countries, but I know I love seeing stuff like this. Like this.
Yeah, 100%.
Especially in lieu of current events. But, okay, here we go. We're lining up. We got 12 seconds for the gate to drop, and both teams rush to the robot. Capture the robot, and then the robot starts making headway. Exciting stuff, and we're off.
Your day just got made.
All right, let's shift to Golden Shadow, Lana Knutson. Again, making her way downtown. Getting to the robot. I was going to say first, but I don't know.
Oh, we can see Oregon has switched to... so this is a counter to the player that Golden Shadow's playing. They've got a... so we'll see. The Bisons have practiced on how to play against that counter, and so we'll see how effective they are.
Yeah. I had an instructor once tell me, practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. So we'll see how perfect the Bison's practice was, but looks like Oregon is slowly escorting the robot down screen. Do we have a team wipe? I believe we have a team up. We got Banana Josh. Oh boy. Poor Banana Josh. That's okay. We're now going to look at Sky King, Jeremy Flath, heading off. You know what, Mark? What can you tell us about Jeremy's character?
Yeah, so Jeremy's character is kind of a newer character that's been in the map. Does some distance damage, but does a lot of melee damage. Has some interesting movement abilities where they can dive under the ground, which we see there. And come up and do some damage. So it's an interesting character that doesn't get played a lot, but Jeremy has played them enough that they can be pretty effective.
And that's always a fun strat too when you do play some of these characters that you don't play a lot. Like, I mean, obviously there's a counter to Widow, the sniper character, right? A lot of very popular character. People love that character. So there's a counter to it. But when you're playing a character that people are like, oh, I don't want to be that guy, I don't want to play that person. I mean, you're like, oh, I'm not prepared for dealing with you. I don't know how to effectively deal with you. And we're seeing if that's going to pan out now. Oh, there's Avalon. Okay, interesting. I don't know if Jeremy was like, I'm going to go tag that player, and then saw the gamer tag and was like, nope, or what. But, yeah, doing a great job here, just kind of sowing a little bit of chaos on the front lines here. Keeping the enemy team guessing. Looks like the robot is catching up. Avalon got it 57 meters. Oh, he's taking on Avalon. First person mode. Oh.
Ash.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's jump to Dreamin' Bacon. Here we go. I believe Dreamin' Bacon is Widow? Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so looks like we have a Bison team wipe. Widow getting hunted down. Got hunted down. And the Bisons are respawning and getting back to the robot. Okay, so we got 6 minutes and 45 seconds left. Looks like Oregon is leading currently. They finally got their robot back to the push objective, and they're making slow progress. Halted progress. We got Golden Shadow there, just absolutely getting into the mix. And do they have? Yes, they took out the enemy team at the cost of her own tank, but Kobe got a nice jump headshot there. Again, you can just see the skill. Nice. Again, another shot on Avalon. Okay, I'm gonna predict that play of the game. Play of the game. Oh boy. Looks like Dreamin' Bacon Kobe Spear found the enemy spawn. Not too dissimilar from A New Hope Star Wars with Han Solo running into the hangar. Pushed. Looked, screamed, ran away. Good call, Han Solo. But looks like the enemy team has a Mercy out there. Okay, talk to me about Mercy. I was talking to some of the players a week or so ago about how effective or relevant Mercy is as a healer. What do we have to say about Mercy? Is Mercy still relevant as a healer, or is she kind of a character of a bygone era?
So I would say Mercy has a place, but it's more as a component of a comp rather than perhaps a player on their own. So the res can be kind of game changing for sure, and make a difference, but it has to be really as part of a comp rather than, like I said, a player on their own.
Yeah, you definitely need some coordination in there. Okay, so we see here Lana Knutson, Golden Shadow, switch up. Got I believe this was her original tank that she was playing in game 1. What can you tell us about this tank versus Diva? What are the differences? What are the strengths? What are the weaknesses?
Yeah, so Ramatra is much more of a melee tank, more in your face. Definitely kind of a counter to the tank that Oregon is using, able to manage their bubbles a lot better, whereas Diva's more of a mobile distance tank. So this one you have to play a little more in the face, we'll say.
Mm-hmm. Okay, looks like the Bisons are trying to wait for their team to respawn. And we are back in the action. I'm trying to wonder where are the rest of the Oregon players. I didn't think that many of them got wiped out.
Oh.
Yes, just...
Yikes.
Sky King used his ult in the back there. Looked like a good place, but ended up getting wiped out, and they really did kind of counter that ult. So
yeah, well, he got the aggro, and when you have the aggro, it is really difficult, and we just see how fast things can change. Again, equally, like this is pretty equally matched. We trade back and forth. Each team makes slight progress, and then the game, it shifts directions. Absolutely. Okay, just a nail biter of a moment here. We have, the team very low, all of them very low health, but with the Bison's very low health, and you get this nice. You got a Sky King got a KO there, but again, you're just thinking like, am I just trading my life for one life? Is it worth it going in? Should I wait for my team to respawn? Should I buy for time? So much to consider in such a little point of, or such a short moment. We see here Christopher Summick trying to get the high ground, trying to sow a little bit of confusion. Has to fall back to the respawn in order to get heals. Oregon making good progress, but Bison slowly pushing up back on the robot. And looks like Oregon's luck is running out. Oh my goodness. What an absolute clincher moment.
Back!
There we go, Avalon. We just see what is it? A terrifying player, but Bison's back on the offensive and have a long way to go to catch up to Oregon. So you can see here again in this game mode. I know it's very difficult to describe to the viewers, but again you can kind of see here the robot is essentially running back and forth. But I don't think I've seen the robot run this much. I mean, obviously, like you have a time limit, but like. Yeah, a lot of this time is just the robot running back and forth between the between the two push spots.
Yeah, it's been very evenly, again, another evenly played match, which we should be starting to come to expect, I guess. So, good job on both teams in playing together and really focusing on keeping things moving. So
yeah. Just a nail, like they're fighting for every block of this Canadian street. I mean, we're making slope. We got a minute in order to double essentially our distance, because this will get broken down to the meter, I imagine. Correct?
Oh yes, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So we gotta not only hold this objective, we gotta keep it moving. Not if we lose it, I think that's pretty much yeah.
It's going to be really. They're gonna have one more team fight chance, and then they're just gonna have to be able to survive.
This is gonna. I'd say definitely gonna go to overtime. Ooh. It's always scary. It's always scary to see Avalon against one of our other players. Obviously with Kobe Spear, Dreamin' Bacon being our one of our best players, our team captain. When Kobe and Avalon meet on the map, we know it's going to be a good fight, but when you see Dreamin' Bacon and you're observing one of the other players, you can't help but worry for them. You're like, no, he's not ready to face.
So we have won the team fight here. Now it cost us some players, and it is in overtime. So we have one push, and we're probably going to have to win 2 team fights to make this happen. So.
And they know. Hopefully, Oregon's going to get a little bit complacent. Send the rookies like, you got this. But yeah, I think they're going to be fighting with everything they have. Oh my goodness! You see the beast of a character just run right by everybody. Somebody in the background shouting, "Run, Forrest, run!" Okay, nice. Getting some KOs here from Lana Knutson. And you can absolutely just tell how necessary having a support player if you're a tank is going to be.
Yep.
But defeat. Okay, so we don't like to see that. Not on the Canadian map. But again, good game. That was a good game. Oregon really is coordinating. Oh, let's see a play of the game here. Okay, gets one. Gets.
Yeah, so this is that ult, that Sojourn ult. It can be really effective. So
yeah, there we go. I was wondering where's the action, but okay, so there we go. Okay, so we're going into Game 5 Escort. Bisons need to win this in order to progress. So just a little bit about Escort. So Escort is a game mode in which the attacking team must escort a payload to deliver to the delivery point, while the defending team attempts to prevent them until the timer runs out. Each map has 3 checkpoints between the starting position and delivery point, which when reached, will increase the timer and move both teams' spawn locations. Overtime will be triggered if time runs out while the payload is being contested by the attacking team. We got a taste of this. We got a taste of this in hybrid, where they had to get the capture point and then move the objective. Well, this is straight objective. So we're going to see two different game modes, one team defending, one team attacking, and we're going to trade back and forth between that. But you know what, folks? I'm going to go and have to bow out. Unfortunately, I have a prior commitment, so I'm going to leave this to you, Mark, and you, Caleb. Good luck to the Bisons, and I can't wait to watch the replay and see how it's absolutely devastating. I'm missing Game 5 and potentially, hopefully, Game 6. But, good luck, Bisons. It was fun chatting with you guys, and we will see you guys next week.
Again.
But yeah, we're going to launch into Escort here. Several maps to choose from. With the Bisons losing the last match, they should be the one to choose. So we'll see what map that the Bisons choose here. And again, it's this has been ultra close. Every match going down to the wire. So excited to see how this progresses. Want to see the Bisons hopefully pull out a second victory here on Escort and send this to the deciding sixth match. So lots of possibilities. What's it feel like in the room, Caleb? Is it still upbeat, still a lot of chatter, or what does the team feel like in that room right now?
I don't know. I think we're a little down right now because of loss. Everyone's just taking a minute to regroup themselves and just think about how we can change things for next match. But we're doing not bad. I think this will be a nail-biter fifth match, and hopefully we can go into six and take the win.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's really great to see that we've got a really close match like this. We knew, again, two top 15 teams clashing halfway through the season. Both these teams have had really good seasons so far and function at a high level. So kind of what we expected coming into this match, and glad to see that it's been living up to the hype. So it looks like we're going to be jumping into Route 66. This is a map that the Bisons tend to prefer. It's one of the Escort maps that they enjoy. It's got a lot of shifting possibilities. So again, each component of the map is kind of broken out into sections as you hit those checkpoints, and it really does change the strategy. I guess, Caleb, what's your thoughts on Route 66?
Yeah, it's an interesting map. There are a couple little areas that players can kind of sit in and kind of snipe from there with some sniper players. But it's an interesting map. I enjoy it in certain situations. But yeah, it's an interesting map. We'll see how well this plays out.
So the Bisons are gathering themselves together. They'll be talking about strategy and getting things ready to go.
Yeah, I think we're just waiting on the enemy team to get ready to go.
Oregon did ask to swap sides, so that's just the choice between starting on offense or starting on defense, which is their right, with the Bisons choosing the map. Avalon gets to make that pick, so and they did choose to exercise that. So.
Sounds like we're going to be doing some role switching for this map. So Jeremy Flask gamertag Sky King is going to be switching to tank, and we'll see that in a minute here. C-Play Games Christopher Summick will be switching over to play damage, and Lawton Nakanuson, who was playing our tank, will be switching to heals. So we'll see if this swap in strategy and swap in roles will help us win this game.
Yeah, and that's that's a good comment. We've got players that definitely are flexible and perform at a high level in multiple roles. So this is well, not the norm, definitely not out of practice. The Bisons do practice in some of these different roles. So again, it's been really close, really tight all day. Moving into this 5th game mode, we'll be really excited to see how this how the Oregon team handles this shift by the Bisons.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting now with 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 the switch. Looks like we're still kind of deciding at the last minute for characters, but looks like we've figured that out now and are getting into the battle. We'll stay on Sky King as a tank as a perspective for a minute. We'll see he has to hold and keep push going. He has shields that can help kind of protect the enemy team for damage, but they have limited health, so they will be destroyed out in a certain amount of time. Like good initial push from the Bisons here, pushing the cart forward, but there is some resistance from the Oregon team for sure. So this will be another nail biter match.
Yeah, the Bison's being real consistent on the cart, which is awesome to see. Getting some damage and continuing to move that cart forward. That's really good on the Bisons to continue to keep that cart moving forward. In these escort maps, sometimes you can get bogged down, and the Bisons did a good job of not just moving the cart, but keeping steady pressure up and working together there. So
yeah, this is looking really good so far. And if this pressure holds, and if we play strategies right, there will be a win. Looks like the Oregon team has changed their tank now to Doomfist. So Mark, Doomfist is quite an interesting character. Do you wanna how does Doomfist work?
Yeah, so Doomfist is very mobile. You can see him flying back and forth across the map here. He's hard to target. He's not as big a tank, doesn't have as many hit points as some of the others, but he's so mobile. He's hard to really aggro. So
yeah, I played against quite and he is very hard to get rid of. So they have to keep an eye on that. Make sure they keep pressure on the tanks, so the tank doesn't pressure them back.
That's right. Yep.
Looks like we're down.
There, it looks like they did.
Looks like we're down a couple
we're
now. Well, it looks like we're kind of getting staggered a bit, which isn't great, but hopefully the Bisons can hold themselves together and then be grouped back up to continue their push.
Yeah, the Oregon team did a good job of kind of splitting attention there and kind of allowing one group of players to focus on the tank and one group of players to focus on the back line. So we'll see if the Bisons kind of group up and manage to get that solved. So
I think I heard from Team Comms that the enemy team has a Widowmaker that you can kind of see there from C-Play Games perspective. Looks like they have another player, Bastion, as well, that's kind of sitting up there farming the Bisons. That's been one of their problems, look like, in these fights recently. Looks like the Bisons have the cart again with Sky King on the cart, and Dream Bacon kind of being around flanking, being annoying to the enemy team. But looks like the Bisons have recapped the cart and are gonna keep pushing it.
there you go.
Yeah, here we go. Just as Bastion now. Bastion is a gunner. He will work as hard as he can to get out the most damage, but looks like the Bison team did a very good job of getting rid of him as a problem. But now that Doomfist is back, and hopefully we can get rid of him as well.
Yeah. So the Bison's doing a good job. They're obviously communicating, and that was a good push to make sure that they got the cart across the line and get the extra time on the clock. So you can see the clock now just above 2 minutes, and they're into the second area. So
So we'll switch to Golden Shadow here, who's playing a sniper heal, and just a reminder, you will see her shooting teammates, but that's for health only, and it doesn't hurt them at all. But looks like the Bison team is getting farmed a bit from the enemy team, just kind of picked up one by one and pressured a little bit more than they would have liked. So we'll just get a regroup and then take another shot at it.
Yep, the Bisons come in. We got 4 ultimate abilities ready to go here. So
yes, we do. We can see him here on screen.
So hopefully we can effectively use those 4 ults either separately or together to really turn the tide here.
Yeah, we could dump all the mobs. That could be good or bad. If we get to win a team fight, but then if we need them in a different situation and don't have them, that's not great. But looks like we dumped 3 of them. Looks like 2 of them on, and that didn't work, I think, as well as they would have liked.
No, that definitely didn't play out to the strategy they were hoping for sure. So unfortunate. You can see now the clock down to just over 40 seconds. So the Bisons kind of have one more shot at this. So we'll see how this plays out.
Yeah. So I hear from Team Chatter that the team wants to go and play on the high ground, so they can kind of confuse the Oregon team and pick them off one by one, which looks like actually worked out quite well. So now
they got to get back to the cart and
yeah.
So again, a good change in strategy. The Bisons being flexible and effective in their strategy, which is important. So
yeah,
we now see that we're in overtime. So the Bisons have to keep somebody on the cart now at all times, which definitely can change the strategy for Oregon. They have the ability to kind of put the Bisons a bit in a box. So you have to be careful. But they seem to be doing a good job working together and dealing with those threats as they come up. Now you got to make sure we keep someone on the cart. So that was actually really well done. That Bastion ult can be really dangerous in that instance, and the Bisons played it really, really well.
Yeah.
And you can getting to that second checkpoint, getting that extra minute and a half. Well done by the Bisons. Again, you can see Oregon now looking to try and change their characters. They're looking for a solution here, and they haven't found it. So I think this does go to the Bison's role changes, playing some different characters, and just putting a little bit of confusion into that Oregon team. So
yeah, looks like we have 2 ultimate abilities now. We'll have at least one more for the next team fight. Oh, it looks like we're using one now. That Deadly Bastion ult by C-Play Game might take out their sniper character, and I'm not sure if that quite did that, but that's okay. We'll keep the push going. I don't know if they have their full team here actually, but we'll just keep the push on, and hopefully we'll take this.
And there's the ult by Sky King, trying to get some of those players off the high ground. Traded himself, but definitely made some space. So
another situation here. This will be the last push for sure here, because we only have 20 seconds left, and looks like we're already down one of the healers, which isn't awesome. But
took down a healer, but did manage to take Avalon out of the game. So might have been a worthwhile trade there. So.
Yeah, Avalon has been a key player for this Oregon team, so it might work in their favor.
Yep.
Looks like the Oregon tank is low and is now gone, so this will be an advantage for sure to the Bisons for this final push. And it takes about 10 seconds for the enemy team to respawn. So if we keep enough players on cart, then it'll go as fast as it can, and we can push it.
We're getting very close to the end here. So even if they don't get it all the way, they've definitely pushed it right near the end. So that's a big deal. You can see Oregon dumping ults now, using a lot of those ults and push the Bisons off the cart just for that moment. But really good job on the Bisons to get that last push as far as they could. Big distance on that last push. So now it's going to be a game of, again, trying to delay Oregon at every chance on their push now. So we'll see how that works out, how the Bisons go to affect that strategy.
Yeah, it's a close game still, and I think it'll be really fun to watch this to watch the second round and see if the Bisons can hold them off.
Yeah, again, very very close. You know, we've seen this all day. It definitely, you know, no different than we'd expect at this point in time. So, you know, the Bisons have a chance here. We'll see how this works. The communication and teamwork on defense is going to be really critical, and we'll see how they can stand up to the aggression from Oregon here.
Yeah, okay, so we switch sides now. Bisons are on defense from the looks of things. There has been a couple player swaps, but some character swaps from the looks of it, but not too many. So we'll see if the Bisons can play into their player swaps, and hopefully it works out for the better. About 5 seconds here until the gates are open and Oregon can start pushing the cart. LCBI setting up their defense, and gates are open now, and the Oregon team will come out and push their cart.
So you can see the Bisons definitely, you know, playing a corner. They've picked a spot to kind of make a stand, and that's just purely for strategic reasons. It's giving up a little bit of space, but playing this corner for a reason. So.
Yeah, and that's all push games. Pick a corner, play there, and then hopefully that'll be enough to keep them from pushing the cart any further. But looks like we'll have a full team wipe on the Bisons here, which is unfortunate, but we still have many more fights to go, so hopefully we'll be okay in the short term here.
I need to recharge.
Well, it looks like Jeremy Flath, the tank here, switched characters once again. This character is called Wrecking Ball. It's a very, very mobile tank, and Jeremy can play him very well. So this might be the game changer for the team. You can see he can swing around with a grappling hook and kind of get charged up to ram the other team like that there, and that kind of drop on them too. So it didn't quite work out yet, but hopefully we can get regrouped and we can try this again here.
Yeah, so we're definitely seeing, you know, Oregon move through that first area really quickly. They've got about 5 minutes left on their team, or on their clock. So yeah, the Bisons have to you know, get themselves sorted out here. Obviously, Oregon made some shifts and is focusing on some of our role play changes. So we need to make sure that we counter that now.
Looks like we're down one of our DPS players now, and that's not great because we need all of that damage. But looks like we're at a bit of a standstill right now. Oregon is pushing, and both teams are down a few players. Looks like, but hopefully we can take the cart from them in this instance now. Jeremy Flath playing this tank who is really mobile, but looks like we might not get it this time. That's all right though. We got it. We'll just keep pushing and keep it up, and hopefully we can stop them.
Yeah, they're going to have to look at a bit of a change here somehow, because the Bisons definitely, you know, they're not playing their best right now. That's for sure. So
yeah, that could be from the loss. They're pretty disappointed about that loss, and they're kind of letting their emotions affect their gameplay, but they can't really do that, because then if it affects their gameplay, then that could lead to another loss. So what we need to do is not let our emotions get in the way, and just play as we usually would, because that'll help us in the long run.
That's right. Yep.
Looks like Jeremy Flash switched tanks back again to what he was initially playing before. Then this tank is called Sigma. So we'll see if this next change will help them or not. We'll have to see how this plays out.
Yeah, Oregon being really aggressive on the flanks with these characters that they've got. Yeah. You know, playing their stuff really well and not allowing the Bisons to really set up a huge defense. So good on them. It's an effective strategy, and it's definitely and we hear a couple of ults on the
Yeah.
on the Oregon side of things here. So they're trying to finish us off.
Well, looks like one of our healers also tried to ult, but it got canceled because they got knocked out. So that's not great because the healing ults can especially help. Looks like there's another ult there by the Oregon team, but looks like their tank has now been eliminated. So we may have just saved the game or right now. We'll have to see in the coming seconds here how this plays out.
Yeah, so now there's definitely a shift here as we get close to the end. The Bisons have the short spawn, so losing a player is a little less painful for the Bisons than it is for Oregon. So we'll see how that plays into things now too. So the Bisons now just really playing for time. Oregon used a lot of ults there on that last push and didn't get things across the line. So. We'll see how that plays out. The Bisons have an ult again, and the rest are building. So
yeah, we have one. It might need to be used soon to keep them off. Looks like a few of their players have come on to point, and looks like we have one KO by Christopher Summick here, playing Reaper. And it looks like he was just knocked out. There's only one player left, a healer, and that was eliminated. So good strategy change by the Bisons. The momentum has definitely shifted, and it's working in their favor.
yeah, so you can see that clock down to 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and they don't. Oregon doesn't need to push it a long ways, but you can see we've now built up 3 ults again now. So Bisons definitely have ults for a fight when it comes to it.
Yeah.
So far, not needed, but.
Like we will need them shortly though, because their full team is here on point, so they might be necessary here right away because they're almost to the end.
Yeah, I would agree. Now is.
And looks like, doesn't look like they touched it on time, so that's a loss for the Bisons, unfortunately, this time.
Yeah, that was awesome. Really great gameplay. Tough loss for the Bisons, but phenomenal match against Oregon here. Look forward to seeing them again in the future. That was a really evenly matched game. So well done by both teams.
Yeah, and this is the interesting gameplay that we want to see. This is for you, for the viewers. It is interesting, and it's what we like to see for sure. Right, so that's the end of the game. We like to thank everyone for watching. It was interesting, it was fun, and we'll see you again next week for our next game.
Thanks, everyone.